Ladies and gentlemen, by way of introduction, this is a film about trickery, fraud, about lies. Tell it by the fireplace or in the marketplace or even in a film. Almost certainly, almost every story is some kind of lie. But not this one, no, this is a promise. Everything you'll hear from us tonight is the truth. It's based on fact. But to get to the truth, we'll have to ask some questions. Questions like, who is Ugo Tognazzi? Do you know have you ever heard of Ugo Tognazzi is?
I know exactly who Ugo Tognazzi is.
Ugo Tognazzi.
I do not know Ugo Tognazzi.
Ugo Tognazzi.
Ugo Tognazzi.
Yeah, Ugo was
I know that he was an actor, right?
Tognazzi.
Ugo Tognazzi.
That's real.
Ugo Tognazzi.
Ugo Tognazzi.
Ugo Tognazzi. Confused? Okay, you will be. This is Penne Alla Vodka. Now, traditionally, it has 3 ingredients: tomatoes, cream, and vodka. And while it's on nearly every Greasy Spoon diner menu, its origin is something of an enigma.
Ugo Tognazzi.
Right, sorry. Ugo Tognazzi.
What do you want to know?
Okay, so this is AJ.
Ugo Tognazzi, yeah, I know Ugo Tognazzi.
And this is AJ's 1980 Cadillac DeVille limousine. It has had the honor to transport various celebrities and heads of state, like Mayor Ed Koch, comedian Andrew Dice Clay, and of course the chairman of the board, Mr. Francis Sinatra. And yes, a one Mr. Ugo Tognazzi. So who the fuck is this guy anyway?
He was an Italian actor, neo-realist films. He did this one film, The Big Buffet.
A 4-course feast of a film about a group of people who decide to get together and stuff their faces until they die. If you're planning on having a meal, do it now, because believe me, you won't want to eat.
Fun stuff. After the film, he went crazy, nuts for food. Something happened to him. He wrote this fucking crazy cookbook.
This crazy cookbook, entitled La Buffone, funny stories and recipes to die for. Fun stuff. And while people say the experience of filming Le Grand Bouffe was too much for Tognazzi, is there any evidence in the cookbook of this? If I may extract a short passage. Greed, gluttony, these are silly words dictated by the current punitive and masochistic morality. Everyone is free to make their own choices, even to die swollen with foie gras or exhausted from embraces. Let's resume the Epicurean morality of joy which made Roman and Renaissance times great. Let's reconnect with the uninterrupted flow of drool, sperm, and shit. Definitely a bit darker of an introduction than, say, Joy of Cooking, but what really worries me here is why would an actor feel compelled to write such a bizarre cookbook at the height of his career?
Nobody knows why. The guy was categorically insane.
And let me tell you, the pasta dish in question is insane, with just 4 ingredients. You got your fresh peeled tomatoes, garlic, oil, and special Polish chili vodka. That's it. How he came to combine these ingredients, no one knows. But I do have a theory.
Because really, what was going through this guy's mind? You're Ugo Tognazzi, you come home from the disco, you're gonna whip up a little pasta because you're hungry. You got chili pepper, you got fucking tomatoes. And then you're jittery from the cocaine, you're drinking, and you're like, oh shit, look. Sauce is bored, look at this. And then you realize, oh man, what have I done?
The true evolution of the dish may never be known, but its history is pretty wild nevertheless. Tognazzi bases his dish off a simple penne alla arrabbiata, which is Italian for angry penne pasta, basically a marinara with chili flakes. Ugo kicks it up a notch by the addition of a very special Polish chili vodka, which he says is, quote, formidable, terrible, very strong, very hot, and deadly, thus bestowing the dish's name penne all'infuriata, or furious penne pasta. The process is as follows. Cook the penne. At the same time, pour the oil into the pan with 2 cloves of garlic. Remove the garlic when they are brown, and then remove the pan from the heat. Toss fresh peeled tomatoes along with 2 bay leaves. Immediately pour in the glass of vodka and put it back on the fire. Add the penne, season, and eat immediately. simple, delicious, and different. Penne alla infuriata is supposed to infuriate your stomach. But what infuriates me is how this simple dish became this. I just don't get it. While Ugo's dish is the first printed use of vodka in pasta, the true origin of Penne Alla Vodka that we've all come to love is a true mystery. It was either invented by Dante Restaurant in Bologna, or a guy named James Doty from Columbia University, or Margie Sorrentino, a housewife from Bayside, Queens. Which begs to ask, is this pasta even Italian? Joe.
It seems to be one of those kind of trash dishes that is Italian, but I don't know that it really is even Italian.
Because in Italy, I never heard about Penne Alla Vodka. Once I moved here in America, I said, let me see why it's so popular, this dish.
A lot of people like to say, oh, that's not Italian. There's no way that you would never have that in Italy. Because Italian food, at its core, at its base, is working with what you have to work with. If you're a coal miner from Italy that's now in the hills of Pennsylvania, getting your hands on a piece of cheese made in the Italian style is just not going to happen. But you know what they have a lot of? They probably have a lot of cream and milk and that kind of stuff because you're in Pennsylvania.
I wouldn't eat Penne Alla Vodka because my college roommate was Italian, and he would really come for me if we were ordering Penne Alla Vodka because it was like a slightly disrespect to the culture.
I've never ordered it at a restaurant, but I always order it when I'm hungover, and they come in a to-go tin container that's round with a clear plastic lid on top.
That's like the traditional way to actually eat it. That's what
Yeah, that's how it should come out, yeah.
I would not make Penne Alla Vodka and serve it in a restaurant. I wouldn't serve it to my family either.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah.
While some chefs will go full Jon Snow on this bastardized pasta, there is no denying its popularity, or the infinite ways to prepare it.
Today we make a penne alla vodka.
Spicy vodka pasta.
Penne alla vodka, vodka cream pasta sauce.
Spicy rigatoni alla vodka.
Then you've got to try my Penne Alla Vodka.
Rigatoni with the easiest peasiest vodka sauce.
Spicy vodka pasta.
Penne alla vodka.
Penne alla vodka.
Penne vodka.
This is Penne Alla Vodka, the way it should be done.
And to understand the insane popularity of this pasta, my friend Peter and I decided to try the arguably best version of it at Carbone in the Village.
This rigatoni dish is $32.
And they charged $32 for it.
32 American dollars?
It's $32.
There's no way this pasta is worth $32. Can't be that good. Fuck. That's the best Penne Alla Vodka I've ever had. It's easily worth $32.
No pasta is worth $32.
This pasta's worth $32, maybe $33. It's so good you have to put your sunglasses on.
Get me back in the kitchen. I'm gonna make you a $32 pasta.
Fuck you, Mario Carbone. Too good.
Fuck you indeed, considering that Carbone's vodka pasta doesn't even use vodka in the recipe. Now, if we're gonna make the absolute best version of this dish, we might as well see how master chefs would whack it up.
If I was to do Penne Alla Vodka, I would take the tomato sauce out and I would use peri-peri sauce. So it would be slightly spicy and use very creamy tofu to fold it in. Kind of in the sense of ricotta cheese, but let it melt in. And then I would use some Thai basil and some really great vodka.
Olive oil, throw in a little dollop of my Bomba Calabrese. Then instead of vodka, I would use sweet Marsala.
Automatically, I thought of gochujang. It's a Korean fermented chili paste.
Where would you get that?
At any Asian grocery, H Mart.
Excuse me, fellas.
Gochujang.
Just a few drops of sesame oil just to accent it. I think that one ingredient could take that dish and just transform it.
With a lot of black pepper, a little bit of garlic, and added the vodka slowly and off the flames. Delicious, simple dish.
I will do with the San Marzano tomatoes, the cream. I will whip a little bit to give more body. And a crunchy pancetta of bacon on the side already prepared, put it inside and then you mix it.
Now I'm fucking hungry. And I literally just ate 3 bowls of this.
Okay, our work is cut out for us. It's time to gather all the main ingredients and get inside the kitchen. But one thing Pasquale mentioned is kind of bothering me.
In Italy there is a dish that is very similar and it's called farfalle al salmone. In this dish there is vodka that is needed for cut a little bit the fishy flavor of the salmon. In the Penne Alla Vodka there is no fish, there is nothing. So maybe I understood that from the dish They took it at the salmon and they did it that way, you know, and they call it Penne Alla Vodka.
It's a poor version.
It's a poor version. I think so.
This makes me think that Carbone is right with their vodka-less Penne Alla Vodka. Maybe the vodka isn't doing anything in the dish, even at a chemical level. Well, let me tell you two things. While Peter and I are very serious about cooking, we are not chefs. Welcome to Not Chefs! And two, we're definitely not chemists. So before we go any further with making the best version of this dish, I thought it'd be a good idea to contact the Isaac Newton of molecular gastronomy, Hervé Thies, to ask him about the science of cooking.
No, there is no science of cooking. Cooking is a technique, molecular gastronomy is a science.
There you go. I'm sorry.
On the other hand, molecular gastronomy is a science that studies the phenomena occurring during cooking. The labs and the kitchen will never meet. Never.
Okay, Herv clearly made his point that I need to go back to school to understand the chemical reactions that are happening here. So that's exactly what I did.
I'm a chemist. I did chemistry at the University of Lausanne.
I understand that tomato sauce is naturally acidic. Is that true?
Tomato sauce is acidic, yes, that's true. Yeah.
And then would you say that cream is more basic than acidic?
Milk and cream is more basic than acidic.
So by adding the cream to the tomato sauce, there would be some sort of a reaction. Would ethanol play any part in changing that reaction, do you think?
In some cases, I'm quite sure if you add cream without vodka directly to the tomato sauce, you could have some problem. You could have,
like a curdling.
French with a tranché, you had some solidification of part of the cream.
That's how you make cheese, right? You add basically acid to milk and it'll curdle.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Frederick seems to think that ethanol could be working to bind the acid of the tomato and the base of the cream as a possible surfactant.
Ethanol is not a surfactant.
Okay.
There is no possibility of chemical reaction between oil and ethanol. Impossible. So it was a guess, as many guesses that I see today from chefs or bartenders or what you want about culinary phenomena. Culinary phenomena is not like this. You cannot explain like this, in particular if you have no scientific information. But indeed, when you do science, you have the Occam rule first. You should first envision the simplest assumption. And the simplest assumption is vodka is not first ethanol, it's first water.
Now, while this was not the sexiest answer, that we were just diluting the acid with water in the vodka, I decided to let my ignorance ask one final question to make the namesake ingredient earn a legitimate place in this recipe. The original recipe, the chef takes chilies, hot chili pepper, and puts it in the vodka to make a spicy chili vodka.
Ethanol can help in this case to extract some flavors. Maybe also directly in the tomato sauce also when you cook it.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, the vodka, it could do something.
Probably, yes.
This was music to my ears. But would Herv agree?
Does the alcohol actually attach itself to like different chemicals?
Sure. They are called alcoholates.
Success. It would seem that the scientific community has agreed that vodka is not just some cheap trick, but a pivotal element to the recipe. Now, we've heard from a lot of chefs and have a few ideas on how to make the best version of this dish. And in order to play this game of penne poker, we're going to need 5 key ingredients: tomatoes, onions, cream, spices, and definitely vodka. While Peter and I always have a bottle of generic tater juice in the freezer, we wanted to see if we could bring this dish up to a new level with some craft vodka. With over 3,000 distillers just in the United States, our work was cut out for us. Unfortunately, my absolute favorite distillery, Kings County, happens to be hidden in Brooklyn's old forgotten Navy Yard, and they're quietly making a very special type of vodka, also known as American Moonshine. And to find out if this was going to be the perfect addition to our recipe, we wanted to ask Anthony, their head distiller, what kind of magic moonshine they were making there.
Yeah, we make a classic moonshine recipe.
And how pure, quote unquote, is it? Like,
It's not.
It's not.
No. Well, when you say impure, it's not a bad thing. It could mean like flavors are considered impurities. To have something that's just pure as you could get, that's vodka. But we use a pretty rudimentary style of still, so we're letting a lot of impurities, but there's a lot of flavor that passes. I can pull some off the still if you want to try. Yeah, let's do it. I'm sure you're familiar with what vodka smells like, which is basically nothing but alcohol.
Oh, there's definitely...
It's not just alcohol. Every time you distill something, you're getting further away from the characteristics of the source material. It's got all sorts of weird terroir. It also has smells of the yeast. It also has smells of the fact that we're using open fermentation.
This is Brooklyn mash, yeah.
Yeah, sure. This is Brooklyn moonshine for sure.
Thanks, Anthony.
Sure, man.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Vodka secured, I turned my focus to the base of the dish, the pasta. And while a box of Barilla would suffice, I decided to hit up Casanelli in Queens. Why?
Because they're the best, and they happen to be just down the block from my house.
Astoria, Queens absolutely loves their food. Bagels, Thai, Cuban, Indian, Asian, Greek, fish markets, meat markets, Puerto Rican, Italian, Egyptian, Chinese, Bosnian, Taiwanese, even Japanese crepes. And of course, there's so much pizza it grows in the gutters here. So it's no wonder that the city's absolute best restaurants get their fresh pasta from Casanelli on 23rd Ave. Now, while you'll never find them in a grocery store, it's a little known fact that you can pop down early to their back door counter and get some right from the shop. You're welcome. Pasta down, on to produce. First up, tomatoes. And for that, we need to find real San Marzano Italian tomatoes.
That's why we come here to Dave and Tony's Salumeria.
When I walk into Dave and Tony's, it's like being home. This is a shop that I've been coming to my whole life, as my parents have since they lived in Astoria. It's full of all the exotic Italian staples, from bacalao to fresh pastas to the greatest house-made sausage you've ever had. There's of course the obligatory Tower of Panettone that no one has touched since 1987, and even imported talcum powder for your culino. But the real item here is Giuseppe, who makes fresh mozz every morning by hand like his father taught him, and is personally responsible for at least 30 pounds of my total weight. And while usually a very quiet man, I got the opportunity to ask him a very important question.
So do you think Queens is the best borough? Like I said, listen, I've been in New York for 50 years, let's say 49 years.
Yeah.
And I haven't left Queens too much.
You make of that what you may. And after a quick taste,
I would get so fat working here. Things off from my down.
I said my respects, and we were on our way. But what the hell was I? Oh, right. I was getting tomatoes. San Marzano. It's the only choice. I know that the recipe calls for fresh tomatoes, but San Marzano tomatoes are special. They're grown on the side of a volcanic mountain, and they're just packed with lava, basically. And they're canned at the height of their freshness. So they're going to be better than most things that you're going to find at your grocer. Sorry, that's just the reality about canned San Marzano tomatoes. Okay, tomato taken care of, now we need an onion. Luckily, the best place to pick up a tier ball is just down the street, which is United Brothers Fruit Market, which is open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. United Brothers is a Queens institution. How or why they stay open 24/7, I don't know. But let me tell you, if you need leeks or a radish at 3 in the morning, they got you covered. United deals in the freshest local veg, so you're always going to get the best of the best. So I know this onion is going to be fantastic. Next up was perhaps the most elusive and the most difficult to obtain. That's right, raw cream. While you can buy a gun or weed easily enough, raw cream and milk is very, very illegal to sell or purchase. So, to find some, I had to hit up the dark web, aka the Raw Milk Facebook group, where a kind guy named Luis told me about an off-grid farmer's market and a guy named Chad who might sell me a pint of this raw gold. Now all I had to do was hop over the Queensboro Bridge, throw on my incognito face, try not to get pinched by the fuzz, and find my man Chad. So, I put on the button cam and I go in.
How's it going? Good, how are you? I'm good. I'm actually looking for raw milk. Raw milk? I don't have... I heard there's a guy named Chad. Oh, that's the one right here. Oh, great, thank you.
I didn't realize you had it.
Hey, how are you? My friend told me that I might be able to find some raw milk or cream here.
Oh, you can't sell it. Who's your friend?
Luis Alcon.
Oh, okay. So we have a guy who, he doesn't always have it, but
Yeah.
sometimes he has it.
Okay.
There he is. Chad?
Yeah.
Roberto's doing this Penne Alla Vodka dish, and he wants to get a heavy cream next week.
Oh, okay. I was looking for like raw, like the best quality, basically cream possible.
Yeah, Friday we would have it.
Thursday night. Great. Well, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you. Wow.
Success. Thursday I would meet Chad, obviously a fake name, and Red Hook for the trade-off. Now, all I had to do was get back to You piece of shit, MTA. I swear it's always when you gotta get somewhere. Alright, so Uber's surging, so I jump in on a friggin' tram to Roosevelt Island, which is famous for smallpox and not much else. And now I just need to get... Where the hell am I? Why are there ruins? What is this, Highlander? And why is that squirrel eating a piece of meat? Oh my god. Oh, okay, ferry. So just a quick boat ride to Long Island City, past the Pepsi sign, hop on a city bike to McGinnis Avenue, where I can grab a Revel scooter that can finally take me back to Brooklyn to share the exciting news about finding the forbidden cream with Peter.
You realize I've had cream for a week.
Yeah, but this is the raw cream. Like,
Yeah, I've had raw and pasteurized cream for the last week.
I had to go fucking clandestine to go.
I texted a guy, I had cream in a day. That's my point. Why don't you get on this story?
Oh, you know what? Why make a shot? I call a guy, I can get Penne Alla Vodka delivered, and like, what's the big deal? It's no big deal.
I go down to fucking Thompson Street and get fucking Penne Alla Vodka. It doesn't even have vodka in it.
Peter, just do me a favor.
I've had raw cream for a week.
I
told you that.
Coming. That's giving us raw legal cream.
I told you 2 years ago you never trust a man named Chad. No chin straps, no Chads. I told you that.
I don't know where to get raw cream from.
I've had it for a week.
That's not the point. I had to take a ferry, a fucking tram, a fucking scooter. It wasn't easy to get out there. I did a lot of work for this fucking cream.
Hey, 12 Monkeys, my friend. Hey, let's look through a weird lens.
This was a mistake. This whole friendship was a mistake.
Look at JFK and then say that.
He's crying. There he was, sitting silent sentry over our ingredients.
Why choose this as our goal?
And there, in our darkest hour, I could almost hear him speaking to me.
Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? Why does rice play Texas? We choose Penne Alla Vodka. We choose Penne Alla Vodka in this decade and do the other thing. Not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
JFK was right. This wasn't about making it easy. It was about making the best Penne Alla Vodka ever. And with Jackie Boy ringing in my heart and ears, I knew what had to happen next. I want you to shoot me with this. Enter the Zenit Photo Sniper FS-12 spy camera. Made famous by Nikita Khrushchev, this 300mm image cannon would safely capture the action of the illegal cream deal from down the street. Besides, I've been looking for a reason to use this thing, so deal with it. Hey. Good, man. So, raw?
Yep.
How much is it?
10.
All right. Here you go. 10. Great.
All right.
Thanks. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Having successfully made this way more difficult than it had to be, and finally obtaining the raw cream, there was just one last piece to this pasta puzzle.
The spice.
Yes, the spice. And for pure, uncut spice, we would have to see the Bene Gesserit spice succubus of Avenue B, Atef Bulabi, whose mythical spice shop is only denoted by a hidden SOS masonry bar. Hundreds of exotic flavors from around the world line the walls here, so hopefully Atef can be our Virgil to the spice abyss. We wanted to talk to you about maybe a different type of chili that could maybe bring even more flavor.
There is a lot of possibilities, depends where you want to go.
Okay, I like this already.
We have Leppo. This is, they call it the horse claw. Pepper is Japanese. Yeah, it is hot. I put one.
Just one?
One, yeah, but we can go more. I love this Louisiana hot sauce. I have the smoky, like the Pasilla Oaxaca, maybe the green Szechuan, the red Szechuan. Because the Sancho also, I have an amazing Kashmiri pepper. It has a lot of flavor.
We have to make some tests.
And every time, you know, I think you're gonna take it to another level. Yeah, I have this pepper that people don't believe me. When a woman comes, be careful, you're gonna eat this and it's gonna make you horny. And they look at me like, what do you mean? And then she come back, she has a smile. Sure. Oh, so good, your pepper. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you know what?
Look, they have warning labels on it, you know?
Nice.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Yes.
The doctor.
Well, no, this is fantastic.
I love. I'm a lover.
You are a lover.
Yes. We are good?
We're great.
Amazing.
Yes, really
I'm
amazing.
very happy. Thank you.
Me too. I'm so glad we could do this.
Alors, 16, I need a calculator. Don't say that Dardush is not smart.
No, it's okay.
Noah Tef, you are wise beyond your years. We could spend days traveling the world through your jars of spice, but now, having our final ingredient, it was time to enter the kitchen to see if we could outdo Tognazzi's furious pasta and make the definitive Penne Alla Vodka.
Alright, so what's the plan here?
We're gonna make some testers, and it's gonna be funky and angry. Pants? We got pants.
And chilies? We got chilies.
There's no reason to have little bowls if you can't put little things inside of them. Regular Calabrian chili. Then we have this wild Aleppo. And then there's some Louisiana action, which I love. This is the most formidable of the beasts. This is the madness pepper, the most dangerous game. No, don't do it. Do not do it. Do not. You stop.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yep, cream. That's delicious.
I rolled the dice with eating the madness pepper, but now it was time to try our luck at the first dish that we call the classic. San Marzano's Japanese chilies, Russian standard vodka, cream, and rigatoni.
Because I don't like excess amounts of garlic, we're gonna do this little garlic trick where you just place this in the oil to let the oil be flavored with the garlic. You don't want to overdo the garlic. Italian cooking is not about garlic. In this case, it's about hot pepper. Coming for you, Alton Brown. Vodka.
Ah, Bruce, the fat riseth.
You might eat the fat. I was born in the fat. When Sean Connery. That looks angry. Nastaroge. This looks good. Man, that's better than carbone. It's not just like hot. There's a lot of flavor in that. This is an amazing dish. That cream is out of this world, man. It's like almost like a cheese.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Nailed it.
Great, can I eat now?
Yeah, sit down.
That's so good. The hardest part about this dish is not wolfing it down and eating it so quick because you want to. The pepper, it almost makes you like a little high. And like, I want to slam this right now. I hate that I even have to talk about this.
Right.
And it's just joyous to eat.
Now, this definitely hits all the senses. I'm surprised by Japanese peppers. When do you have spicy Japanese food?
Almost never.
You give me half of that pasta.
But yeah, I'm sweating.
That's a great heat.
That's a perfect heat. Because I still feel it like alive in my mouth and in the back of my mouth, but it's not overpowering. And I'm not angry.
Maybe we failed.
Technically, we failed.
We'll just have to try again.
Our first attempt was angry, but it was not furious. So we moved on to attempt number 2, Southern Funk. San Marzano's New Orleans chili, moonshine vodka, cream, and rigatoni.
How about the moonshine? It's intense, huh?
I mean, that's full fat, heavy cream from the farm.
You got the Etna tomatoes. You're tasting the volcanic ash.
Tell me about that volcanic ash, Roberto.
It's like eating lava. And I think a lot of arrabbiata sauces and Penne Alla Vodka just go with the crushed red pepper.
Yeah.
And they're not even considering all these crazy flavor profiles that you can get out of these other peppers. That's really the keystone. This is the key to the dish.
I think it might be.
And then again, that cream, I'll go to jail for this dish. That's a killer dish.
Okay, let's do it again.
Okay.
Next was our take on Chef Jay's wild card, which we're calling Korean Chaos. San Marzano, Gochujang, Mushan vodka, cream, or a Ketty.
Apparently those are warnings.
What are you, crazy?
Mama taught me well.
You're a formidable flipper. Nastrovia.
Gambé.
Am I wrong?
Fantastic.
Fuck.
I don't know, man. I've never tasted anything like that.
Either have I.
What is there?
I love it.
The Japanese chilies were like a nice guest at a party. Come in, enjoy themselves, and they leave. And it's nice. This madness,
Puts its foot down.
it's staying with you for a week. I don't know, man. It's building. But I can't quit it. Woo! We're in the flavor zone.
Oh man.
You should crush a little Alka-Seltzer just right on top, like a finishing Alka-Seltzer. Man, Chef Jay, I love you and hate you at the same time.
Oh. We're gonna have to try some more now.
We must.
I might have to pass out for a few hours.
I have to take a cold bath.
That's great, because the hot water heater's still out.
Great.
It would be crazy to continue, hence Inserianity. Onion and tomato base, Aleppo chili, rye moonshine, cream, or a Getty.
You don't think people know how to cut an onion at this point? I don't even want you to film this because some fucking jerk is gonna say I don't have any knife skills, which I don't. I'm a fucking mechanic. I'd like to send a message to myself 30 years from now. Looking back, it was a mistake to have 3 Alla Vodkas in a row.
Cheers.
You can taste the rye. It's nice with the onions. I still go to our number 1, which was just cream, vodka, the Japanese hot peppers. You tell me what you think. Oh, fuck.
The pepper got you.
I can't.
It's not bad, but that first one's the winner.
Yeah.
But the rye is nice.
The rye is nice.
It's a little sweet. I would say let's do the first one with rye, but otherwise it's the first one.
Yeah, agreed.
That heat really creeps up on you.
But are you getting angry?
This is just disgruntled. Maybe even just moody.
Our final attempt, dish number 5, the Tognazzi. Fresh tomato, Japanese chili, vodka, no cream, or a Getty.
It's too much. Yeah. You right there, Hunter S. Thompson?
All I see is little peppers everywhere.
These are the Japanese peppers?
Yeah, but I put in 5 of them.
This is like a kamikaze. They sneak up on you.
If you could imagine, if you could imagine me in clown makeup, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Peter's in clown makeup, right? This part that would be like white or red is just on fire.
It's an angry pasta. It's fun to make.
Yes.
It's fun to eat.
It's amazing.
If you're not having fun, what's the point?
There's no point to be in the kitchen if you're not having fun.
I'm in so much pain.
Is this for your best of friends or your worst of enemies?
Well, you keep them both close.
I actually think we should do one more. I'm not kidding. I got one more in me.
You're fucking insane.
So, what was the point of all this? I have no idea. The point is simple. Even in something so stupid as the Penne Alla Vodka, a dish you could find on any diner menu, you can go as deep as you want. It's the food that connects you with all these crazy people and places and experiences. And that's wonderful. And Ugo knew. Mangiare, no. Io mangio per vivere. Eat? No. I eat to live. I mean, that's the point of life, right? Yeah, Ugo, I get it. You're not crazy. In fact, might be the most sane thing I've ever heard.
You know, don't believe everything you read. I mean, you know.